Hi, this is Didi Sanchez with Scrappy Gamer DDS channel and welcome back. This is April 2018 and this is another installment of the Oh So Inspired collaboration that is put on by Alicia of Call Me Crafty Al. Myself and several other crafty people out there in YouTube land have gotten together with Alicia and we take an inspiration item and we do something unique, different, and something hopefully that will inspire you. Please visit all the other crafters. They are linked down below in the description, as well as our inspiration piece, which is inspired by Dearly D. It is a blog post and it is a set of DIY embellishments. They're very cute, and here they go, and very basic. Not too many, not too much fuss, and sometimes that's the best way to go. You've got layering, you've got foiling, you've got vellum, you've got punches and shapes, glitter, you've got text, and from this, all these elements I enjoy tremendously. So what I decided to take was the sparkle of the glitter and the foil. I love these little word stickers. I am a big, huge fan of those. So let me get right to what I decided to do, and I made a card for you guys. So here I am with all my supplies. The video is sped up about, I think it's twice or 2.5 times, so that I can kind of keep it under 20 minutes. It's not edited very much, so there'll be a little bit of lows and lulls of me doing things because I'm thinking. So let me tell you what I have today. I'll give you some more description. I actually have the stuff in front of me right now. This is a Recollections Color Splash Resist paper pad. Gotten it at Michael's and I'm flipping through it because I'm liking, like I said, the foil, and I'm liking that I'm going to make an embellishment for my card, and I just wanted to do something different that I hadn't worked with before, and so there's several other items there that I'm going to be using to make this embellishment. So I wanted to use my watercolors from Jane Davenport. I have the Jane Davenport, let's see, do they have a specific name? Hmm, don't see mermaid markers. The Color Institute. I don't think they have a specific, set. But anyway, that'll be coming up soon. Here I'm looking at some papers that are by Creativity Inc. Got this at Tuesday morning. Um, so it had a bunch of foiling on black, and I had put the resist paper down without looking it and taking anything out because I needed to look at the patterns. I knew that I was going to do some kind of floral embellishment, so I decided to take this nice purpley foiled background, and now I'm just looking for something that could coordinate with this idea of the flowers in this paper pad. So the other things that'll come into play, because I won't show them to the camera specifically for any length of time, are a few Stampin' Up! Punches. I have a daisy punch. I have a scalloped circle punch, about 2 inches I believe it is, and a banner edge, a banner tail punch rather. So I'll be using those as we go along, as well as a little yellow punch that has like a sunbursty kind of effect. So as you can see, you can actually see the resist, at least I see it while I'm editing this video, that it is shiny. It's almost as if you were to emboss your background using clear embossing or white embossing on top of white paper in order to then be able to use watercolors or any kind of like gelatos or anything over it, and that area will stay of course white. I'm setting up the card bases. I was have to cut two, planning to make on more, but I'm only going to go through the process of making one with you today during this video. And so the cardstock is Michael's. The black is the regular 65 pound. This paper is just slightly lighter than the 65 pound, but it is still feels like a cardstock. So I definitely uh, didn't see anything listed. Let me take a look right now for you guys. Doesn't say what it is, but the white is definitely the 110 pound cardstock. Okay, so I'm looking at these again and I'm saying to myself that I don't think they really work. I picked like not a chevron, more of a zigzag, and then I was picking some words and I thought that I would do the words, but then I had remembered that I had all these Tim Holtz terminology, ideology, sorry, stickers that I was going to go through. So I went back to something that you really can't tell what the pattern is, but it's butterflies and flowers. And so here I'm busting out the mermaid markers, and I'm just getting the ink flowing. I'm trying to make like a modeled effect, and so this is really the first time that I'm doing this. I really love watercolor. I mean, I've been seeing it a lot on a lot of videos out there. Said before, taking white embossing or something and embossing some kind of imagery or text or something like that. And then on top of that, applying watercolor. Now, the markers or pens, I think they're called pens, right? No, they're called markers. They have a pretty decent flow as far as I feel. I don't think I was pressing on the barrel enough to get it going in the first few tries. I see this and I say, oh, I gotta rubble this off. And this is where I kind of like, kind of mess up. And I try to add more ink in here because I should have patted it dry versus wiping it dry. So I just wound up making all the colors like almost a big blob. I'm just lucky that it didn't turn brown. It had a lot of green in there, which was okay, and I just kept going with it because I am going to do a floral punch. Daisy punch. So the greens, purple still came. They still stayed. Little muted, and there was a little bit of yellowy orange. So I'm just looking for some areas out here to punch the flowers, and that way I can make the daisy for the embellishment. And looking at how they're going to layer on top of each other, that I had enough variation in order to do that. And then I'm looking for something to back it so that the daisy is a little bit grounded and it's not just like the petals are free floating over the background. And then all I'm doing there was comparing the size of the scallop circle to figure out what kind of a banner I would be needing so that it would look not too wide, proportional. So I cut a 2 inch strip and I figured I'd start there. It doesn't quite go in. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's a trimmer, if it's me, it's my eyeballs, or whatever the case is. I always have to go back and refit to use this punch. But it is what it is. So I cut the fishtail, the banner tail, and then I'm trying to zhuzh up my flowers, curling those ribbons so that it gives a little bit of 3D-ness to the actual image. Then I'm gonna, assemble. I wind up having to step away for a second. Hopefully, you're not going to notice it too much because it is sped up. But so, not too many other supplies here. I'm using glue dots, obviously, that you can tell from the roll, and some three-dimensional puffy foam squares that I picked up in the dollar store. I just love it from the dollar store. It's super strong. They're thick, so they really give a lot of height, and pre-cut into little, rectangles. And whenever I go to the dollar store, I just take everything that's on the shelf, and it's just a wrap. I walk out with 10, 12 rolls, and they last, and I'm able to just like go to town with them. And they're a little thicker than the Stamping Up ones, which are awesome. But if I want a little thickness in terms of like for the card to have that layer pop up, I like to use these behind that layer. All right, so I'm back to assembling, and I had the little starburst and made a center. Then I noticed that the 2 inches was too wide. It just didn't look right once the flower was put on there. The black did its job of anchoring the flower, but it was just not working out. So here I'm trying to figure out how to cut this, considering that I already cut the banner, the fishtail out of it, and of course I mess it up, and I'm like, womp womp. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna play. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna layer a few. I'm gonna make it have more dimension and more texture. And so I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna place the flower. And then I try to hold everything together. And then that's when I realized that I need to start sticking stuff together because the card is pretty much done. I've used the elements that I wanted to. I wanted to try this resist watercolor concept. I cut another one here to see what I would do. I wind up not using it because I'm only doing one card, and I actually liked the staggered way. So here I'm playing with this like angular excuse me, placement versus the straight placement, and I say no, I like the angle. Gives a little more movement. So now I just bust out my ATG and I'm going to start assembling. And so I, of course, center my foiled paper, which is black, but I guess it's maybe the different quality of paper, or because of this, the foiling, it has like almost a charcoal look. So I cut this banner pennant tails down, and I'm just spacing everything out, and I'm putting it off to the left because from the inspiration, I liked the foil. I liked the idea of making my own embellishment. I've done it in the past for other things, scrapbooks and whatever, even on other cards, but I don't think anything that we've done for the collaboration. So I knew that I also liked, because I love me like the Tim Holtz. I mean, you can see right there on the screen that on the left hand side, I have a million of these Tim Holtz books. Every time they go on sale at Michael's, one, two, whatever's on the shelf goes in my cart. I love these little strips. I'm actually using the small talk, which are not just single words, but actually full phrases. So I will be going through that in a few minutes. So here I popped up that black layer with the flower. It's actually pretty cute. I like the mottled effect of this water resist paper. And so now I'm going through like these are the big words, and it's like, to putting too many of those might be very distracting. Then I look for the small words. Then I found the small talk, and I said, okay, I'm going to find something here that's going to give a nice little sentiment. And I start looking and reading through the white ones. And then I realized that it's just too stark, too contrast. So I switched over to the black, and I've actually found a few things that I want to put on there. What I'm taking off are three sentiments that say always and forever, which is the first thing that I put down. XOXOXO, which goes right underneath that. And then on the inside, so I'm not doing any stamping this time, I'm putting everything begins and ends with you. And I felt that I had accomplished my goal. But then I realized that I did want to include something that went over the embellishment itself, so I put another one that said, I love you. And there you go, my card is done. So, I hope you've enjoyed this so far, and you are liking the card. Here is the close-up shot so that I can give my closing statements and ask you to please visit every other crafter who is participating in our blog op, our collaboration, and to come back again in May when we have another inspiration item and another set of projects that may inspire you. So, thank you for visiting my channel. Please like, give a comment, subscribe. Again, visit everybody else, and I hope that you will come back in May and visit us. And until then, have a great day. Thank you, and bye.